didn't want to, but just a topic came into my mind, so I thought let me just speak about it. It's all about communication, right communication, but also the right interpretation. Words can mean many different things depending on the person. So it's about communicating, learning to communicate, but learning to interpret, learning to understand the essence or the meaning the person is trying to say with those words. Are you understanding me? And often a lot of misunderstandings, and that's why we say it's not more than often we say it's misunderstanding. We don't say miscommunication. We say it's a misunderstanding. But because we are walking on our path of self-transformation, we always bring it back to our own self. It's how we communicate with our own self. Do we even communicate with our own self? Or we are so busy talking to others, looking at others, what they are up to, in whatever way and form. Because nowadays they say that we should be interested in others more, invested in others, and show interest in others. Yeah, fair enough. Yes, you must. But first it starts with you. First it starts with us. And I've realized that it's all about. I think if I can even put it in the right words, I have misinterpreted and misunderstood my own self. What I wanted to do, I misunderstood my own actions in life. And mind you, it is the misinterpretations that then further creates our actions, behaviors, etc. And it's not that we lack self-control. We all have self-control when it comes to communication, in the sense we hold back a lot. We hold back a lot of things that we should be saying. We let it go unsaid. We suppress, we repress, we hold back for whatever fears we have, or whatever we think. It's based on our interpretation of a scenario. We have no idea what is happening in the other person's mind, how the other person interpreted a scenario. And so, for example, I'm going to give you an example. What happens is that, there's a scenario. There are two people involved. Let's keep it two to keep it simple. There are two people involved. Now what happens is, this is the scenario, but the scenario happened. But the way each person interprets the scenario and thereby then again acts and reacts is completely different. It's completely different. It has nothing to do with the scenario. It has to do with the understanding we have of that scenario. And so that is why they say, change the perspective. Change the perspective. But who's changing the perspective? The person who built that perspective in the first place? No. That's why we have to go beyond ourselves. And that is why it all stems from our sense of self. We have to change ourselves before we can change our perspective. We have to change or shift our sense of self before we can even shift our interpretation of that scenario. Like how they say, point of view. Point of view, because you're standing here. Now, if you were to understand the entire scenario, why don't you shift? Opposite, like how they say, to understand a person, walk in their shoes. Eventually, we all want to be in our own shoes only. We don't want to walk in other people's shoes. Especially on this path of self-transformation. When we say walk with me, Ronak, you say walk with me, your name. You want to walk in your shoes, but you must have the ability to step out of your own self and put on the other person's shoes. Walk a little bit, and then you will realize that even though things didn't go the right way, or things didn't work out as we wanted them to be, but they are right from where he is walking. They are correct from where he is doing, even if it is not good for us. We don't like it. We were hurt. we felt blah blah. I swear, I mean, I don't want to use the word swear, but I've learned one thing: to understand a person, you have to walk in their shoes. And trust me, it is not easy. And that is when you will be able to forgive. You know, forgiveness, when you understand that given in that same scenario, in that point of view, you would have done the same thing yourself. Nothing greater, you know. So let's be where we are. Let's focus on ourselves. Let's learn to walk in our shoes. But at the same time, let's learn to shift when we are not happy with what's happening around us. And it all begins with our own self. I would say it all begins with our own self. Suppression is not the answer. I don't believe in that. That's why I talk a lot. But you should learn how to talk. We should learn how to communicate. We should learn how to convey the message in the right words, depending on the person. Some people. So that is why first develop an understanding. If you can't develop an understanding of our own self, how are we even going to do that for the others? You know, it starts with our own self. I'm going to a Pilates class today, and I have reached already. Have a good Sunday, everybody, and I hope you got something of value from this talk. Next time, don't hesitate to communicate, but learn to communicate the right way. Clarify. Clarification is the word. Clarify, because you have no idea how the other person interpreted. You understand? So clarify what is on your mind. Clarify your intentions. Clarifications, interpretations, understanding. All of this form a basis of a good communication. And you will do that. We do that. You know why? Because our ego is we need to put our ego down and save the connection, because the connection is more important than our ego. How about that? Let's just put it that way. So next time you find yourself how do I say this, struggling, whether you should reach out to a person that is dear to you but you're not so sure because things have gone sour, we have the ability now to make it sweet and sour. Okay, I found my parking. So okay, have a good Sunday, everybody. Bye.